Imagine a future where humans have colonized Mars, the Moon, or even galaxies beyond our own. Exciting, right? But have we ever paused to question, is it ethical? As we push the boundaries of our scientific and technological capabilities, the idea of space colonization moves from the realm of science fiction into the domain of potential reality. This prospect stirs a sense of wonder and anticipation, the allure of exploring the unknown, the promise of unparalleled scientific discoveries, and the chance to ensure the survival of our species. All these factors make the idea of venturing beyond our home planet appealing, even thrilling. Yet, as we stand on the precipice of this new frontier, we must also grapple with the ethical implications of such a monumental endeavor. As we look to the stars, we must also look inward and question the moral dimensions of our aspirations. One of the most pressing ethical dilemmas we face revolves around the allocation of resources. Space exploration and colonization are not cheap endeavors. They require vast amounts of funding, materials, and human capital. The question then arises, is it ethical to divert such significant resources towards space colonization when we still grapple with pressing issues such as poverty, hunger, and environmental degradation here on Earth? Another ethical quandary pertains to the potential impact on indigenous life forms if they exist on other celestial bodies. If we stumble upon extraterrestrial life in our cosmic journey, what are our moral responsibilities towards these life forms? How do we ensure that our quest for exploration and colonization does not lead to their disruption or even destruction? There's also the question of governance and sovereignty. Who gets to make the rules in this new frontier? How do we ensure that the principles of democracy, human rights, and environmental sustainability are upheld in these extraterrestrial colonies? And finally, we must consider the long-term impact on Earth and its inhabitants. While space colonization may provide a solution to existential threats, it also carries risks and uncertainties. As we stand on the brink of becoming an interplanetary species, the ethical dimensions of this grand endeavor become increasingly pressing. We must tread carefully, thoughtfully, and ethically as we venture into the cosmic unknown. Space colonization demands an enormous amount of resources, but should we prioritize space exploration over solving Earth's problems? From the dawn of civilization, we've always been explorers, pushing boundaries and venturing into the unknown. Today, space is our final frontier, but this leap into the cosmos isn't as simple as packing a spaceship and blasting off. It requires significant resources, both in terms of human capital and material wealth. The vast amount of resources necessitated by space exploration provokes an ethical dilemma. On one hand, space colonization holds the promise of scientific discoveries, potential resource extraction, and perhaps most compellingly, a safeguard for the survival of the human species. On the other hand, these resources could be spent on addressing pressing issues right here on Earth, such as poverty, hunger, and environmental degradation. Could the pursuit of space colonization inadvertently exacerbate existing inequalities on our home planet? The cost of a single mission to Mars, for example, could fund countless social programs, build infrastructure, or invest in renewable energy projects. With billions of people still lacking access to basic necessities like clean water and healthcare, the question arises, is it ethical to invest so heavily in space colonization? Moreover, the race to space could distract us from tackling pressing issues. Climate change, for example, poses an existential threat to life on Earth. Yet, while we dream of terraforming Mars, we seem to be neglecting the transformation of our own planet. The ethical conundrum deepens when we consider the potential for space exploration to become a playground for the wealthy, further widening the gap between the haves and the have-nots. Will space colonization be an equal opportunity for all, or will it be a luxury reserved for the privileged few? The question remains, how do we balance our curiosity and ambition with our responsibility towards our home planet? There are no easy answers, and these are debates we need to have before we take that giant leap for mankind. As we stand on the precipice of a new era of space exploration, we must grapple with these ethical dilemmas and strive to make decisions that benefit all of humanity. If we find life on other planets, what are our responsibilities towards these indigenous life forms and their environments? This question is not merely philosophical, but a crucial ethical issue as we inch closer to becoming an interplanetary species. Consider the potential existence of indigenous life forms on celestial bodies. As explorers and potential colonizers, we may encounter life forms that have evolved independently of Earth. This presents a unique ethical quandary. How do we treat these life forms? What rights do they have? The disruption or even destruction of these life forms due to our activities raises significant moral concerns. We must consider their intrinsic value and the balance of their ecosystems, contemplating our actions' potential impacts. And what about introducing terrestrial life into extraterrestrial environments? This too carries weighty ethical implications. As we've learned from our own planet, the introduction of non-native species into an ecosystem can have devastating effects. The same could hold true for extraterrestrial environments. Introducing Earth organisms could disrupt the balance of these alien ecosystems with potentially disastrous consequences. This raises important questions about our role as environmental stewards, not just on Earth, but throughout the cosmos. The concept of environmental stewardship extends beyond our home planet. It suggests a responsibility to care for all environments we encounter, striving to limit our impact and preserve their natural states. This ethos of care and respect should be at the heart of our space exploration endeavors. It's not just about what we can gain from these new environments, but also about how we can protect and preserve them for future generations. Our approach to space exploration and colonization reflects our values as a species. It's a mirror into our collective ethics and our sense of responsibility towards other life forms and environments, whether they are on Earth or light years away. Our actions in space reflect our values as a species. So, what values do we want to project as we venture into the cosmos? When we establish colonies on other celestial bodies, who governs them, and how do we ensure ethical governance? This question is not just a piece of science fiction, but a real concern that needs to be addressed as we move forward in our quest to colonize space. Space, the final frontier, is no longer just a realm for exploration, but a potential home for future generations. But as we set foot on these new worlds, we carry with us our earthly norms, values, and systems of governance. We must consider how these systems will translate into a cosmic context, and how they might evolve to suit the unique challenges of extraterrestrial living. Imagine for a moment a colony on Mars. Who holds sovereignty over this colony? Is it the country that established it, or do the settlers themselves have a claim to self-governance? These questions hint at the potential for conflicts over territorial claims and resources in space. It's like the age of European colonization, but instead of continents, we're dealing with planets and moons. And what of democracy, human rights, and environmental sustainability? How do we ensure these principles are upheld in a place where earthly laws may hold no sway? The governance of space colonies will not just be about managing people and resources, but also about preserving the fragile ecosystems of alien worlds. Creating a fair and sustainable system of governance in space will require us to grapple with these complex issues. We will need to establish robust legal frameworks that respect the rights and freedoms of all space settlers. We will also need ethical guidelines that promote environmental stewardship and peaceful coexistence. But perhaps most importantly, we will need a shared vision for our future in space. A vision that transcends national interests and unites us in our common pursuit of knowledge, discovery, and survival. A vision that guides us in creating not just new habitats, but new societies that embody our highest ideals and aspirations. Space colonization isn't just about technology, it's about creating a fair and sustainable system of governance beyond Earth. As we venture forth into the cosmos, let us carry with us not just our technological prowess, but our commitment to justice, fairness, and the preservation of life in all its forms. Space colonization could be humanity's insurance policy against existential threats, but at what cost? The prospect of settling beyond our blue planet offers us a contingency plan against catastrophes like asteroid impacts or environmental disasters. However, it's not without its share of uncertainties and potential pitfalls. Investing heavily in space colonization might divert our attention and resources from pressing issues that we face here on Earth. Climate change, for instance, is a ticking time bomb, and social inequality continues to widen. Pouring resources into space colonization while these problems persist could be seen as morally questionable. It's a delicate balancing act, isn't it? On one hand, we have the survival of our species, and on the other, the survival of our home planet. There's also the question of biosecurity and planetary protection. What if we inadvertently introduce harmful agents or technologies back to Earth from our space settlements? The potential for such unforeseen consequences underscores the need for robust biosecurity measures and ethical guidelines in our pursuit of space colonization. The long-term impact of space colonization on Earth and its inhabitants is a multifaceted issue, laden with opportunities, risks, and ethical dilemmas. It's a path that we tread with hope and caution, a journey into the unknown that demands our utmost responsibility and foresight. As we reach for the stars, we must also keep our feet firmly grounded in the realities and responsibilities of our home planet. Space colonization presents us with an exciting yet ethically complex future. We've touched upon resource distribution, environmental stewardship, potential indigenous rights, governance, and the long-term impact on our home planet. As we continue to reach for the stars, it is essential we do so with a deep sense of responsibility and a commitment to ethical principles. As we embark on this cosmic journey, let us ensure it's a journey guided by ethical principles, responsibility, and respect for all life forms.